Maybe we should say our names when we start. Go in and be like,
You said my name and I said your name.
I know. Okay, start over. Hey guys, this is Coach Darren.
And Coach Sarah.
And we're here talking a little through the CrossFit Open and some other new things that the gym's going to get ready to do. But we just wanted to get on a little pod here, and that's it, right?
Yep.
Chat it up. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Open. How do you feel the Open went, Sarah? Did you like it this year?
I have mixed feelings about the Open this year. I've had mixed feelings about the Open since it went from 5 weeks to 3 weeks.
Agreed.
I
know people love it. People the CrossFit's really trying to talk us into that we like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I guess from like a logistical standpoint of
it's
running
much
5
better.
weeks, it's better. But
I was very tired after 5 weeks of the Open.
But workout wise, I just feel like it's so
Well, I just feel like it's a more even test.
blah. Yeah, that's true.
One, you can get more things in the 5 weeks and test more things, and it just becomes the more, just scientifically, the more data points you have, the better the the result is.
I agree, and I think that it's now the first stage of the Open or whatever this is just like motor wads, and
that's
it's
all it is.
it's not even anything fun to do, and it's not exciting, and it's really, really hard from a.
Well, this is officially a biased podcast because neither of us.
Right. Well, I'm not. I'm just saying. I think that it's hard to get the community engaged, and excited about doing
burpees,
dumbbell snatches, and burpees, and that was
the most exciting
one. So I don't know. I love the Open. I think the Open is great. I think it's we preach the Open at Big Guava. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
So we want everybody to compete and do it and do Friday Night Lights and being in the community. But it's that first workout comes out and you're just everyone's wind is let out of their sails, and then they do the same movements in the second workout. Not the same exact movements, but
if you're good at the first workout, there's a
very similar. I know, if you're elite, first workout was a sprint, but most people aren't elite. I would say it was the same amount of time almost for majority.
Right.
The second one was 20 minutes?
20 minutes, and then I think the first one had a 15-minute cap.
Right. And
so if you were on that cap line,
right,
still a long
you're hinging
workout.
and jumping, and then you're hinging and jumping again. So I don't know. I think a good balance would be 4 weeks.
That's
make it the month or whatever, and you can do it's a big deal for whatever month it's in. It's 4 weeks long, and then you get a little, like you say, you get a little bit more data points out of it, and it's easy to talk up in the community because you can say March is the Open or whatever it is, and but yeah, 5 was a little long, but I do think you got better workouts,
a better average,
out of 5. How do you think it was here at the gym?
I think it was pretty legit.
Hi, Coach Lauren. Hi, guys. You're what? Get you some grips, girl.
Okay. I think it was pretty good. We were kind of worried about, the vibe and how many people are going to show up and that kind of thing. Always are.
Yeah.
Darren's main concern about everything that he throws is that no one is going to show up and it's just him sitting around by himself.
So
hasn't happened yet.
Irrational fear I have.
Yeah. But no, the first week was super pumped up. I think everybody was kind of ready to be back at it. And being in the smaller space, even, the people that were here kind of filled the space a little bit better. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was fun. I think it had a lot of Guava 1 vibes.
Yeah.
And it was a good time because we had a lot of newer people doing it. We had some people come back from Guava 2 that were come and doing it. So I think it was awesome. I had a good time with it for sure.
Yeah.
It was tough because it was in a weird weekend where a lot of people were out of town or going skiing or doing something weird like that. So they wanted to be there and then necessarily couldn't. But other than that, it was good.
Yeah. Tell me about the third week because that was the week I was out.
Right, you were doing the race.
So I didn't even get to see it.
It was fun. A lot of logistics in that one, and then it's a muscle up at the end of it. It's can you muscle up or not?
Right.
But we had Tiff got a muscle up.
I saw that
her
on
first
the gram.
muscle up. Yeah, so that was super exciting. And it was quicker, so we didn't have a crazy amount of heat. So we all just hung out afterwards, which was really cool, and ate some PJs, you know.
What was that?
Some Papa John's, you know.
Goodness gracious.
Got some. Sarah loves when I eat Papa John's, so.
And then complain for the next 3 days.
That's true. But yeah, I thought it was good. Nothing to really write home about. I think that CrossFit's banking on, and I don't know this, but you know, just like the way it's set up, it seems like they're banking on a bunch of people going into quarters and then like making all the fun workouts come out in quarterfinals.
Right.
That's why they let 75.
That's right. That's why they went from the 90th percentile to the 75th percentile. But it just makes it. But with that being said, like, are the workouts going to be the same caliber that they have been in the past few years with the heavier weights and the higher skills? Because if you look at the 75th percentile, like I ended. I'd have to look it up. I think I was like 83, 86, something like that. Right. So like kind of in the middle of that top 25 pack or whatever. And I couldn't do half the workouts from quarters last year. Right. Like, yeah. Or if I did, it would be embarrassing.
I think they talked about.
So is it just going to be like the Open 2.0 where it's.
Right. I think they talked about making them a little bit more approachable. Right. But I don't know. I mean, obviously.
Or like maybe progressive.
I think the main thing is they're just trying to find the fittest person on the planet. So. Right. They can make them as hard or as easy as they want. The elites are still going to do it, but if you want community engagement, like you're saying, like you got to make them somewhat approachable. Like, you know, when they used to do 5-week workouts or in the Open 5-week Open, and then they had like the progressive ladders, like the snatch, chest to bar.
Like you would. Those people got weeded out that couldn't do like, the heavier weights. Yeah.
So I'm guessing they're going to do something like that. I hope they just don't do like 1 rep max, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or anything like that.
Really
I think
the point.
Right. I think they should test a little bit more. But I mean, these guys have been doing it for a long time. They know what they're doing. Or do they? You know?
I just feel like it changes every year.
I feel like every year it's like something new.
Are the sectionals the same, or what is it even called now? I can't keep up. It was
sanctionals.
No, that was like what it was a few years ago.
Oh, I don't know. Semis,
semifinals. That's what it is. Because it was regionals and then it was sanctionals. Yeah, and now it's semifinal because it's open quarter semi.
Right. Yeah, in the semis in Orlando, I think
it was last year. I don't know. If I haven't heard anything about it this year, but
I don't know. I mean, I'm old now. I'm in that Masters division, you know. So we stay at home until all the way. You get all the way to the games, if you make it, if you're doing it. So, we'll see. Hopefully the workouts are fun. We have a bunch of people that made it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and I think the invitations and stuff go out tomorrow. No, Monday, something like that.
April 1st.
April
maybe?
1st, yeah, and then I'm excited to see kind of like what the workouts look like, even if I don't pay CrossFit $25 more or whatever it is, $50 for the next.
I don't know.
level.
I just think they're dropping the ball on that because the Open is what everyone gets hyped up for, and that's what communities are.
So do the exciting stuff then.
Right, and that's the only time you're gonna do a Friday Night Lights or something like that, or like get everybody together is for the Open. We're not gonna do it again for quarters for 20 people instead of everybody now competing. So I just think, and they don't release them the same way. They release them all at once, and you got a week or whatever to do them. So it's just they make it a little bit more challenging to make it fun for the inviting for the community. But they don't. Once again, do they actually care about that? I don't know.
Does it still end up with the fittest person alive at the end? Yes.
I think that they're gonna make it. I think. I'm not sure. I think those Medeiros is going to do pretty well on whatever the workout is.
Is that what it's really about, or is it really about us?
Right. It should be about us. We matter. No, we don't matter, I guess, according to CrossFit. But anyway, back to the gym. We're doing an 8:30 class. We're releasing an 8:30. Any thoughts on that? I know you're never going to go to it.
I will never see this class in
I know, but I think that it's cool because we'll have 3 morning.
I wish so badly I could go to the 8:30
Now we'll have 3 morning classes, 3 night classes.
So 6 a.m., 8:30, 9:30.
And then
4:30, 5:36 there.
Right. And then Open Gym's just kind of a floater. It's been been slow lately at Open Gym. But I think, people.
That's because nobody wants to work out by themselves. That's why we're all here.
So true.
Yeah.
So boring.
Yeah.
Ugh. even when we all were at Open Gym, there was like 10 of us there. So it's not like we were just like in there grinding alone.
By yourself, with your headphones on.
So I think it'll be good. I know a lot of people that were at 9:30 are excited that like have to rush out at 9:30, and a lot of 6 a.m.ers that are like,
I only come because
9:30 is a little too late.
Yeah.
So perfect. I think it's going to be a good one, and maybe we
get a little bit new demographic
get
in here, get some new faces,
get some new bodies in the old Guava 3 that we have going on here. So programming. How do you feel? Like, I mean, we've been programming, but I think the programming, we're getting ready to start a squat cycle, or we just started it.
Yeah, this past week.
I feel like we need it.
Yeah.
You know, I like whenever.
I don't feel right when I'm not in a squat cycle.
Yeah, same. I feel like, and I get a lot of comments about it. I think Pete actually said something to me. He was like, man, I think I'm just going to try building to a heavy single. I'm like, well, we're getting ready. I think maybe chill on that, because I think we're going to start a squat cycle.
He always comes in here on a Sunday and squats the day before we want to start a squat cycle for whatever reason. Yeah,
for you, Pete, we're doing 6 weeks.
That's right.
Getting strong. No, I think it's just the legs are the engine of the body, in my opinion. So I think that the stronger your legs are, the easier everything else is.
For sure.
I like doing it earlier in the week. I know we tried that deadlift thing in like the middle of the week.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's just too much, I think. So I like it early in the week. People know to expect it, so they're like,
And I like, you have an hour in class or whatever, so you're getting in that kind of longer 18 to 22 minute kind of strength. And then Monday is going to be more of a 12 to 15 minute.
Right.
It's not going to be this huge workout that like crushes you for the rest of the week.
Exactly.
It's kind of this more,
set you up.
Yeah, set you up well for the week. Just a shorter kind of Metcon with.
And then intervals.
Yeah, the intervals are back.
Tuesday intervals are back, and it is
not pretty.
They're grimy right now. They're hard.
I actually missed this Tuesdays because
the cluster one.
Yeah, the work. I know. I need to go back and get it in.
Man,
I think I would have actually done pretty well.
I think it was good. I liked it a lot, but it was definitely challenging. I don't think it was as that DT one from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That one was like mentally and physically all of it. It was just so tough to stay moving. This one was like something just broke down, and it was like
one of the
I think my chest to bars
the chest bar
broke down early in that piece. So I was like, okay, I'm just working through chest to bars, and if I get some clusters, cool.
I think this week we need to. I think what did the DT? What
it was wall walks?
Oh, wall walks. Did it have a machine in it?
No, it was 4 wall walks, 1 heavy round of DT, 185, 125, and then max burpee box jump overs.
It was the max. Okay, so this week my favorite interval WODs are the ones that end on a machine.
On a machine?
Because
yeah, we started that one last week on a machine.
Yeah, started on a machine, but you're like conservatively pulling or whatever.
Right.
My favorite ones to watch people do and to do are the ones that end on the machine, because you're just selling out
full send,
because it's not like a barbell where you're not going to hurt yourself, and it's not like a skill that's breaking down and you can't do anymore. It's just like how badly do you want to do it? So
that's
my vote. Either end on a ski or the row, not a bike.
No.
I like. The same.
We can end on a rower on this one. I think it'll be good.
That's the best.
We'll just figure out how to work it in.
I just love watching people fall off sides of rowers.
It's so good. And ropes are back.
Ropes are back. Where are we putting the ring?
I don't know yet.
Came in, the rings went away.
Yeah.
So
I don't know yet. I think
those are easier to figure out because you can actually hang them from the ceiling.
Definitely easier. So I don't know. We'll
down
figure
the center somewhere.
Figure out a place to put them somewhere where they're out of the way. But I think ropes are important to have. I know when we moved here, the ceilings were a little low, so we were like, are we gonna get them? We're gonna put them outside and blah blah. But
don't put them outside.
But it was this is just as high as Guava 1.
Yeah,
our first location.
Actually, I think it is higher.
Here?
Yeah, because when you go in, when we get the metal beams out and stuff like that, like, and you're in the ceiling, it's definitely higher. Guava 1 was like 11 and a half feet.
Right. I feel like you did a pull and you were there.
Did one singular pull and you were
so good at rope climbs.
Yeah, we were the best.
Man, I'm killing it. And then we went I remember going to WOD Wars and be like, something wrong with this rope.
It's so high.
I don't know why. I think it's broken. Why can't I do a one pull? I don't understand.
Like 3.5.
But yeah, it's good to have him back. I think we'll put him in red line a lot.
Yeah.
And work him into like FBSs and things like that. But with only having
Or like flush. Would be good.
Flush.
Yeah.
We're only having 4 or 5. It is hard to work him into class.
Yeah.
Especially
maybe partner wads, but
these classes are getting pretty big.
Yeah.
430, 530 was super cool to see. But yeah, partner wads. So you'll see him for sure if you're coming consistently. But if you're in red line, you're gonna see him.
Yeah.
Maybe not once a week, but every other week.
Wednesdays. You're gonna bring back the
I don't know. Just like just like a
classic CrossFit
filler day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a no. That's not a good word. Not a filler day, but like classic. Yeah, classic CrossFit day. Strength wad, complex, and then just like a 15-minute, good
couplet, triplet, something like that.
mover piece. That's
Yeah.
always good right in the middle of the week. This week we did the snatch wall ball snatch.
Ouch.
That ate me up.
That was not. I
That ate
actually
me up.
felt pretty good that day, but
I snatched great. And the snatches felt good. We haven't snatched in class in a while, or like in a strength setting, which was nice.
yeah.
But man, those snatches.
The snatch in the workout, I just feel like I was all over the place because I just had no
Yeah, I was already
control of my body.
I was
left.
already yelling those for
Yeah.
sure. Don't watch that. Okay, if you see me snatching those.
Seriously.
But it was the wall balls, man. Those wall.
What did you end up? Because we had talked about how we did that one together. We were like right next to each
Yeah.
other. How did you end up breaking them up? Because we never got.
I did everything that I
you
said I
said
wasn't going to do.
yep,
I
okay,
did 30 in a row.
That was dumb.
So stupid. So the workout was short. It was 12
12
minutes, and it was 30 wall balls, 6 squat snatches, 135, 95. That was the workout. And we talked about, I was like, I think I'm going to break them up, do 10, 10, 10.
Because I was like, Darren, what are people doing? Are we just like holding on to this wall ball and just eating it? Like, what's happening?
Most people were breaking it up.
And because I was like, I don't think I could, but I
Yeah.
don't think I could hold it. So
Yeah, and in my mind, I'm 2019, 2020 me. So I'm like, I can hold that wall ball. And I'm thinking like, 5 years ago when I was like, all I did was fitness. But I got into that set and I was like, this feels pretty good. That like guy that talks you up in your
Yeah.
head is like, you can hold on, you got it.
Yeah.
You'll be okay. And then I did the 30, and then I did the first snatch, and then I touch and go the first 3 snatches. What the fuck was I doing? And then I was like, oh no, and it just all hit me.
Yeah.
1 minute
because
into the workout.
you were ahead of me, and I was like,
I died immediately.
and then you weren't.
So stupid.
Well, okay, so I was planning on doing maybe like a 20-10, but then you were like, I think I might go 3 sets, and I was like, actually, that sounds much better. So I did 15-8-7.
Smart.
And
Something about getting halfway though is
Yeah.
like a nice mental thing.
like
Yeah.
you're there, and then like the 8 and they just didn't feel like big sets. Like
Right, no.
less than 10, they didn't feel like big sets where I could like pick it right back up.
Right.
And then just stayed like singles on the snatches. Had you behind me, touch and going, had Lauren in front of me falling on the ground. So I was like trying not to hit her with my
Yeah,
barbell.
we were like the 3 bears there, on that
We're
one.
just like everywhere.
Yeah.
And then was just trying to like make sure Pete didn't lap me and
Pete was moving.
trying to keep you in my rearview mirror. So
And then KL comes in the next day and beats him by 1.
I texted her that night and I was like, "No Coach Dev today?" And she's like, "No." The rain was like just ridiculous.
It was crazy.
And I was like, "You have to go in tomorrow and do this workout because I need to know where you end up."
You're right.
Because I feel like she would love it. And she
Yeah.
came in. She was like, and I gave her like all of where we were at and stuff. And she came in and did 4 rounds
Yeah.
and 4 rounds, 30
Yeah.
wall balls in 1 snatch.
Yeah, she did a full Karen and shit ton of snatches. I was like, when I programmed that workout, I was like, I think somebody can get 5 rounds. Like in the gym, I was like convinced that somebody could do 5 rounds, and I really do think it's like it's a very doable work. Not doable. I mean, you got to have the fitness, but I think if you can snatch pretty heavy, if you have a decent snatch and you've been wall balling, you have a decent motor, like 5 rounds of that workout's possible. But it really does gut check you pretty hard early, and it got me bad. Like the round,
My lower back blew up.
yeah, my right side of my lower back blew up, and I just was like, no, and I was just doing everything I could just to do 7 wall balls, and I was like talking I was like the most negative human during that workout to myself. And I'm like, the self-talk was so bad. I was like trying to talk myself up, and then immediately was like, you suck. you can only do 7 wall balls. What's wrong with you? Like, pick the ball up. But it was a tough one for sure.
Yeah, and then Thursday partner wads.
Yeah, we do. Well, I like partner wads on Thursdays.
same.
You know, not a lot of people.
It is definitely our slowest day.
Right. And I think it's just because
I don't think it's necessarily because of the partner wad. We've changed the partner wad to other days.
Right.
And
I think
the
Thursday
times
is
don't
like
change.
just the rest day, like
The normal rest day.
Yeah, just
People
like
take those weird.
Yeah, I think it's like the 3 on 1 off CrossFit.
For sure.
I'm going to the games. You know, I gotta, peak. So, and then that happens to be the day that everyone takes off. Man, I like a good partner wad.
Me too.
And
I like because I like intervals.
Yeah.
I feel like I work better in like a work to rest. I fall apart in those longer pieces where I have to just grind by myself.
Yeah. Agreed. But yeah, they've been good, and that one was good. The wall walks and up and down ladder or whatever with the cleans and stuff. Man, dumbbell step ups just crushed me.
I thought the whole day that I thought they were dumbbell step overs, and I was like, not too bad. And then I realized they were dumbbell step ups, and I was like,
You'd rather do step overs?
100%.
I'd much rather step up.
No,
I don't know why. Something about
wanna,
that position, and you're like leaning and trying to get over the box sucks.
No, I don't want to extend my hips ever.
True. That's a good point.
And then the 100 toes bar in the middle just wrecked my day.
Yeah, with that front rack hold, man, what an interesting combo that was, because it like never really was too hard, but it was just so annoying. And then it's like, I don't know, do I want a toe to bar or do I want to do this hold? I couldn't figure out which one I wanted to do. Yeah, I know, neither. And then going back up with the starting on the wall and ending on so
much harder. Yeah, so it was dumbbell step ups, the power cleans, and then the wall walks on the way down.
6-4-2.
Yeah, and then the rep scheme stayed the same, but you went the opposite direction. So wall walks, power cleans, dumbbell step ups.
Right.
And those 6 dumbbell step ups were the worst thing I've done this whole week.
They were pretty challenging.
Yeah, not great.
I usually hate step ups, but for some reason they weren't as bad as like they normally were because of my knee. But I think my knee's slowly starting to feel better. I can jog for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, PR. But it's getting better. And then Fridays have been a little, I don't want to say hit or miss, but we're doing full body stacks there for a little bit.
Yep.
And then I just like, I don't know, it's me. I just got bored. And then it's like, get bored of it. And I think
the bro sesh.
Yeah, I think if you're going to do a stack like that, like you can do it in flush. Yeah. I think I'm going to start changing flush to do like what we did this Friday.
Yeah, I saw it was like pump, cardio, and then.
I think we're going to do like pump, flush, stretch, PFS or whatever.
That class has changed so many times.
So many times. It was EVC.
Like, what is this class?
It was, But
we can't make up our mind.
EVC was hard because once you go through all the progressions of something,
right,
that's it.
That was a great idea, and I loved it while it was happening. But I really think it would have been like just as well of like one cycle.
Right.
Like it's like a, like a seminar almost. And then,
speaking of which, I want to do a seminar again soon.
Yeah, that was fun.
With the barbell, because we have a lot of new members and a lot of new faces in general that I think could benefit a lot from just like a little
either gymnastics or
hardcore,
barbell.
Hardcore breakdown of like the clean and jerk, a hardcore breakdown of the snatch, and then talking through just like shapes, when it comes to classes or when it comes to gymnastics and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's been tough for that EVC, FBS or Flush Friday kind of situation, because Flush is cool. And as I'm programming it, I'm like, man, this is the exact same thing. But it's kind of like the point of it is that it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to kind of be monotonous and repetitive and slow and just zone two and just get a literal flush of the work. So I think putting like a pump and flush as as its own thing is good. And if you want to do that, it's up and you can do it. But like getting a little bit more out of the class. I'm thinking for the next few weeks we're gonna do. I liked the
benchmark.
Yeah, I like the benchmark. Benchmark Friday. You know how like a good name or something like that. But I think the benchmarks are cool. I had Helen this week, and I really like the alternating EMOMs that
Yeah,
we've been
I
doing
like-
on Friday. I like that a
Because
lot.
it's like a WOD within a WOD, and it's a warm up within the WOD. So.
Right, exactly. You get a little bit of everything
A
out
little
of
bit
it.
of hold, a little bit of cardio, or
Yep, and
strength or
then
whatever you want to
I
do.
think it sets you up pretty well too for the workout. I don't think it's gonna take. I don't think it's. I mean, that bike bench beat me up pretty
Yeah.
good. But I think if you're doing it correctly, shouldn't be beating you up like that. It should just be like a good.
No, I mean, I was able to kind of, and there's enough time in that class, especially if you're doing like a shorter benchmark like that, to give that like 7-8 minutes of recovery to where now you've kind of broken that sweat, you've gotten the heart rate up, but it's come all the way back down, but it's not going to shock you to like go straight back in and do something like
For sure.
the first 400 of the Helen.
I feel like now on Friday you're getting a lot of bang for your buck on class. When before it was like, all right, I'm just gonna do with FBS. It's a stack. It's just like we're gonna do this 30-minute stack,
Right, and then like a sprint
and
WOD.
then like a little tiny sprint WOD at the end. And some people really liked it. And it will. I mean, obviously we cycle through a lot of our stuff when we're in blocks and stuff. So we'll obviously bring it back soon-ish. But I'm liking the flow that we got right now of knocking out some name workouts, some benchmarks. Helen,
For sure, because it's
Grace.
been a while since. Well, I went in to look at what my Helen time was because I knew I hadn't done it since Guava 2.
Right.
And then I had some other ones in there, and they're all like 2022, 2023.
Yeah,
so
we got to roll through.
We got.
Especially with all the new faces. That
For
was
sure.
we have
And to give people some, thresholds of where they're at.
exactly
And stuff like
2 new coaches.
that. Yep.
Which is super exciting. Coach JP and Coach Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
Do we love them?
Love them.
I love them. I think that JP is great and is going to do awesome, I think.
Yeah.
And he's doing really well. He's been shadowing a lot and taking it real serious and making sure that he's...
I looked over one day and he had just like notes.
Yeah, he's got
written down.
notes.
And I was like,
love notes.
Are there going to be flashcards?
And then Coach Lauren's like, hey, can I see your notes? I'm like, man, you...
What is this?
What? Aren't you the one in college? Shouldn't you be the one good at notes? But, yeah, Lauren's killing it with the USF
For
club.
sure.
It's going on right now, which I think is super cool, and I think people are really liking the USF club. And it's a CrossFit club at USF, so if you're at USF and you don't know anything about CrossFit and you want to try it, message the USF club. I think she has an Instagram, she has an email, and all that stuff. So if you want to jump in, get some free workouts at Guava and see if CrossFit's for you, could be a good thing. But yeah, she's doing great too. So it's exciting that they're going to be here.
JP's got what classes now?
JP's going to
Come
do.
see him at what time?
He's going to do Thursday at 9:30 because
Okay.
we're adding the 8:30, so I'm taking the 8:30 class. So he's doing Thursday at 9:30, and then Lauren is going to do Mondays and Fridays 6 a.m. 9:30.
Nice.
And I think JP, because his schedule, he's a fireman, so paramedic, so his schedule's really weird.
Yeah.
So he's going to do a lot of filling.
I love that.
And with Dr. Seb,
Dr. Seb.
like we need fills with Dr. Seb. Paging Dr. Seb. And Coach Zane, they're just busy. So they're doing the best they can to cover their classes, but it's going to be awesome to have him
Kind of
be able
on the
just to
background, yeah.
fill as much as he can, and you'll get a lot of them coming in the class. He did good the other day on the interval class.
No, for sure.
Kind of threw him to the wolves
Yep.
just to let him have it and be like, all right, man, here we go. And that was a big class.
I walked into that 5:30 and I was like,
Yeah, a lot of logistics in that one when it comes to keeping it on time and warming everybody up and so
And anytime you have to make people share things, but they're not actually doing the workout together,
Right.
people try to lose their minds. So kind of managing that is always a fun task.
yeah, I thought it was good. I thought he did a good job. So that's exciting. Summer's coming, and it's gonna get hot. And I think we have a few events coming up. Beach Watch probably.
Yep. That'd be good.
And a few other things. So hopefully, we're able to keep it rolling here into the summertime.
What about accessory classes? What's going on with I like the powerlifting back
As-
squat
Yeah, I
deadlift
think-
bench on Thursdays.
On
Have you
Thursdays,
taken
yeah, I
that?
think those has been good. I think that Tuesdays for barbell class is on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I think we're in a clean and jerk kind of situation right now that we're getting ready to end, and then it's going to be a little up in the air of like what we're going to do with Tuesdays. KL really wants to, not that she can make it, but like she's like, I thought the barbell was best when we were doing like a lot of complexes and stuff, like stuff like that. You get the most out of it, which is a good point. But it also, it's like technique. People want technique, and people don't want to go to barbell class to like die.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. It's a mixed bag right now. But the Thursday is good right now with how it's going, with a little bit of strength and a little bit of just like a
accessory and
accessory movements and stuff like that. Because by Thursday we've done a lot of barbell,
right?
You know, in class. So if you're doing classes, if you're stacking, you're doing classes and barbell, like. We can't, like, when we snatched on Wednesday, so we're not going to snatch again on barbell. So,
no, I like that, because I think that people kind of neglect those three kind of base movements.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's hard to get all three of those things in.
We need to front squat. We really need to front squat and expose everyone to front squatting. But I think maybe that's the next cycle instead of back squat. Yeah. And then regular class, maybe we do a front squat cycle. Because we're in a back squat now. Yeah. Switch it over. Front squat. Maybe overhead squat. You know?
Wow.
Get crazy.
What we did that cycle one time where it was like front and back. So you did like the same weight and you had like several front squats and then immediately
that was hard.
Put on your back. That was so hard.
Grimy for sure. I like the overhead squat movement. I think it's a fantastic movement, and I think it's a true testament of like where you're at, like where your body's at.
Yeah.
You know, if you can overhead squat, you're healthy, and if you don't have any like impingements or anything like that, or if you can't overhead squat, you got an issue and something's wrong. It's like a good check. But people love it or hate it. You know, it's like one of those things that's like it's a very like polarizing movement. Some people are like, I'm not going that day. We're overhead squatting. I'm not going. So we've got to try to break that habit or that mindset. But people just don't understand that like just having your arms above your head in that position, you're going to get a lot out of it if you're tight, or if, you know, you could use a PVC pipe and just being in the position is going to be really hard. You're going to still get a good workout in, but they want to load the bar and they want to do all that stuff. So it just can be challenging for sure for some
class setting
bros, I would call them, some alpha male energy that's in the gym that wants that position. But I think for the most part, most people get it and they're like, okay, I want to be moving correctly and all that stuff. So
sure.
But yeah, and then you got Saturday. Tried and true. Never going to change.
Big old wad.
Long grind sessions. So, but it's been good. How are we liking this location, Guava 3, the new spot?
Personally, I love it because I can get here from work in less than an hour.
There you go.
Wow. Just claps all around. So if you're coming from the north.
Oh, it's a laugh.
That's a laugh.
No, that's not a clap. I feel like we have a clap. I obviously don't know the buttons.
Nope. Nope. There it is.
The last one I chose. Yep. Anyway, sorry, I messed it up.
Clap. So yeah, if you're coming from the north, it's a breeze getting here. So coming from, as a person that comes from work every day, I'm already driving an hour home, so I don't really mind it. And I'm closer than I was before. That last 2 miles is was the worst part of the drive. So now, like, I passed this location on the way to Guava 2 from work. So, not a bad location for me. And then as far as being here, I'm interested to see what summer's like, but going through winter and not just like freezing when it's freezing outside and sweating when it's hot outside is.
I really think that
it's hot enough, but it's not like.
I think that people just don't understand like the benefit of that. Like, it's just so nice. Like, it's still hot.
Yep.
But like to come into the gym at wintertime, and it's Florida, we get it. It's not freezing cold, but it's still 50 out, and it to be 50 in the gym, and the barbells are cold, and you're cold, and like you get on a bike and the air is cold. You're like, God, this sucks. Like, to come in the gym 75, you're like, oh.
This
sick.
Is nice. Yeah.
It's nice. And then the same thing, I think the biggest thing is what we're really going to see, and people are going to not understand, but like maybe if you came from Guava 2, you would get it, is when it's raining.
Yes.
And it's so humid. I remember Guava 2, like, we loved the location. It's not like we didn't like Guava 2. It was a great location, but it was just a giant warehouse. So if it was humid and raining, it was humid and rain, like borderline humid and raining in the gym because the ceiling leaked.
Just down the walls. And I remember doing like wall walks or something, and I'm like up on the wall, upside down. My feet are just like slipping outward because sketchy. The wall was just like it like was condensating. So hot and humid and gross, and everything was like wet at all times. You couldn't, and then I don't know. We'll see. How, like you said, how summer's going to be here. I think it's going to be great because the insulation, you got, like, you know, that temperature control of the AC and stuff like that. So, I mean, it was come in here and it's freezing. It was pouring on Wednesday, and you didn't even know it was raining outside. No. You close the bay door, you're like, you know, I'm just getting a workout in, which is how it should be. But you know what? When you're in a warehouse and it just kind of accept it. It's like a sheet metal roof, and it's like it was so loud. Yeah, you literally couldn't hear anything. You're trying to talk over the rain and the lightning while you're doing your briefings and stuff like that, and like pretending it's not happening. And everyone's like, "What are you saying?" But yeah, that was things that you deal with that you're just like don't even realize. And people loved it because it was huge. So they were like, "I can get over a lot of stuff because it's massive." Yeah. And in the middle of the neighborhood, which was great, but. I don't know. I think I'm liking it here. I like the location. I liked Guava 1 a lot, and I wish we could have stayed there, but city of Tampa, parking issues and all that kind of stuff. So I think it has a lot of Guava 1 vibes, and I think the classes are good. People, I think, finally are like that came from the other gym are like accepting it, and then all the new people love it. Yeah, like, and I think that's a cool thing too. And anybody that comes here is like, Guava 2 was great for people who had already been there, but like the new people that walked in, it was almost overwhelming. Like it was so big and so like spread out, and you're just like getting eaten by it. But you can get lost in there, especially if a class was small. When you had like a 5-person class in there, it was just like, it just felt so big. And then here, a 5-person class, it feels the same almost as like a 15-person class. It's like not too much different. And now we got ropes, we got sleds, we have all the options that we had at Guava 2. It's not like we don't have anything that we didn't have. The only thing is probably more rig space. I mean, because we had the pull-up bars in the back, but I'm trying to figure out a way to get more rig here soon, which I feel like we're going to get a little pop here, hopefully, of some newbies, some new bodies in here. So, yeah. How are we liking – what are we thinking about just, like, fitness in Tampa in general, like the direction of it in CrossFit and all that kind of stuff? I think that Tampa's got so much stuff now. Yeah. It's crazy. I was literally talking to one of the girls that I work with, and I was – talking about the gym, and she said, "Oh, do you want to know my schedule?" And I was like, "Sure." She's like, "Monday I go to cycle bar, Tuesday I go to yoga, Wednesday I go to Pilates, Thursday." I was like, "I'm sorry." What does she do? Is she a bajillionaire, or does she have like a class? No, I think she has like a class pass or something like that. But it's like, and then it was like Friday I go to Orange Theory, and I was like, okay. But it's just so saturated with options, so you got to really like what you're doing to you know, stick with that every day of the week or whatever it is. Right. So. Yeah, I think that's a huge thing. And 5 years ago when we opened this, it was like there was like 5 CrossFit gyms, 6 maybe, and then there really wasn't that many options. I think camp is always going to be a competitor for sure. But now you have like F45, Orange Theory, Berries, and it's like, and then now there's more CrossFit gyms popping up all over the place, and it's more which. I'm all about like CrossFit or Planet Fitness. I'm all about CrossFit gyms. So it's like more CrossFit gyms, the better. So if more CrossFit gyms pop up, awesome. Like, you know, I think that's good for everybody. The more CrossFit that there is, it's the other things that take away. And I feel like don't talk their thing up, more talk our thing down. Right. And I think that's like a really annoying and kind of like low way to market yourself. I think CrossFit, and I've always said this, is for everybody as long as you have humility and you have a little bit of ability to learn and be okay with like a learning curve. Yeah. And I think some of these other things that you do, you can literally just walk in and be the best one. If you're somewhat athletic and that's what you're looking for, like you can walk into a Berries and just like feel like you killed it
You know what I mean? Because it's bands and, you know, like you're more motivating than you are working out. I'm not trying to shit on berries. If you love berries, you know, cool.
Is that the one that has like no lights on inside?
I think it's red. It's the red one where it's like intervals.
Never been inside.
It's like an interval situation, I think,
Oh, okay.
where you're like, oh, you're on a treadmill.
Oh, so it's a class.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like an hour. You're on a treadmill, and then you're on like the floor, and you're doing like, you know, 3-pound curls and stuff. You know, we don't do that here. So that's just some,
And
you know.
we turn our lights on.
Yeah, and we sweat a lot, and the workouts are hard. So I think that can be intimidating for some people too. And I think when you first start, if like you're like, oh my God, I know you hear this. I hear this so much.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm not fit enough yet.
Yeah.
I gotta go to the gym. I gotta get fit, and then, you know, then I can
come.
Then I can come, because I'm not trying to embarrass myself and blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't think y'all understand that
How much no one is caring.
Yeah, that no one cares, but also how many times I do scale do like the F. Oh my God.
What? Here to sweat?
Yep, that. Jeez, my brain. How many times I do HTS in the workouts, or like just moving through it because like maybe I didn't get a lot of sleep because of Dev, or maybe we're just busy, and I'm just like, I want to move my body. And like, I think that's a big misconception, is like, you got to do these crazy workouts. So like, you know, those things stick in your head. Like you see somebody doing muscle ups, they're like, they're doing that every day.
Yeah.
You know, they're handstand walking every day. And it's like, we handstand walk like twice a month.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's a handful of people that can do it and cool, but like, it's not like that's something that we're doing all the time. We do have the standard movements, what I would consider open standard movements that we do: jump rope, which with the double under, we get upside down a lot when it comes to handstand push-upping, maybe not, and wall walking,
right, but
not walking on our hands. We're on the rig a lot, but like, those are all cool learned skills that you can develop over time if you're modifying correctly. I think people come in and they're like, I immediately want to look like that person who's been CrossFitting for 10 years, you know, and it's like, you're not going to, you know, so take your time with it. And like, maybe people don't want to do that. They don't want to like, I just want to work out, you know, and they don't want to develop skills. But
I think it's a misconception too, because I think that a lot of people think everyone else is like taking the board and doing exactly what's up there. And I probably did that once, maybe twice this week.
Right.
Otherwise, it was some sort of modified or scaled for myself.
For sure. And that's how it should be. And I think...
But like, I'm not going around being like, by the way, I modified this workout.
Right. So. Well, I think too, though, when you do like a spin class, you're not doing exactly what the instructor, like, you're not, turn the knob right. You're like, what? You're probably like, no. Yeah. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to keep it at where it's at. Yeah. And I think that, you know, you're scaling it whether you know it or not. You're modifying the workouts whether you know it or not. I'm sure when you go to an Orange Theory in your splat points or whatever, like, they're keeping track of all of your stuff with your heart rate monitor and stuff. And if you don't want to get after it, you don't. Right. So I think it's the same thing in CrossFit. It's like, you don't have to kill yourself you shouldn't be killing yourself every time you come to the gym. It's not sustainable. We all know that. So, but yeah, there are just so many things out there now. And I think if your product is good, and I think for us, more than anything for CrossFit, not just Guava, but CrossFit in general, it's going to be a lot about like the community. Yeah, for sure. That you go to. Like, do you enjoy the people that you work out with? Are they your friends now?
Yeah. So I have